All right, Kyle, thank you very much for joining us. Congrats on a big win tonight. We'll start it out with Tim Hall from 97.1.
Hey, Kyle, congrats, man. I was wondering if you could just start us off and tell us just what it was like out there. A lot of people already saying that's the most fun they've had watching basketball this year. That was up and down, left and right. What was your reaction coming off the court there?
Man, it was just fun the whole game. Both teams were competing super hard. We knew, what kind of game it was going to be coming into it. We've been prepping and, putting in the work for it. So, we were just happy to be out here and we were competing the best we could. So it was a fun game.
Was the idea to just – you guys did such a great job on Luka. I mean, holding him to 16 points. Was it to just live with whatever else they were going to do in terms of shooting?
I mean, yeah, we wanted to, obviously key in and we had to play, the best post defense we played all year in this game. But, obviously we didn't want to just forget about everyone else. They got a lot of good players. So it was a full team, defensive effort. And, I think a lot of guys stepped up on both ends of the floor and, it worked and paid off.
All righty, we'll go next to Jared Smalley, WCMH.
Hi, Kyle. The biggest takeaway, I think, from the game just is balance overall. 3 guys have 16. There were so many scoring threats the way Justin came on at the finish. Do you feel like as the game progressed there, did you feel frustration from Iowa, the fact that they just couldn't hone in on a guy? You had so many threats coming at them, they didn't really have a way to really shut you down defensively.
I don't know about frustration. Just on our part, we just wanted to, stay poised and keep coming every play. For us, is staying with it all 40 minutes. There's been games this year where in the second half, we haven't completed defensive possessions. We haven't got what we want on the offensive end. So really for us, it's just to, stay poised through the full 40 minutes. And, I think we were able to do that. So that was allowing us to get, the shots we wanted on the offensive end and the stops we needed on the defensive end.
Alrighty, we'll go next to Adam Jardy, Columbus Dispatch.
Kyle, we talked so much in the preseason about your shooting. You hit probably the biggest three-pointer you've ever hit. Can you take us through that moment and what it felt like to hit that shot?
I felt good. I haven't taken a lot of threes. Obviously my numbers aren't high there, but it's something that I've just continued to work on, and I'm trying to do what my team needs from me. So I was feeling confident. The shot was feeling good, so I wanted to take it. I was open, and after seeing it going, it felt good.
You guys were down 11. Duane steps into a couple of threes. Some of you guys come roaring back. What did it take in playing on the road against a team that can score the way that Iowa can? What did it take to battle back from an 11-point deficit?
I'm just going to mention staying poised again. With good teams, as good of a team as Iowa is, they're going to make runs. And, they're going to be able to, score and get stops and stuff like that. So, for us, it was just sticking with it, not getting discouraged. We always say don't flinch. So that was big for us. And then, D hit those big threes and got us hyped up and got us right back into the game. So, just staying poised and, staying connected out there.
All righty, we'll go next to Stephen Means, Cleveland.com.
Kyle, kind of to that point with Duane, obviously he's been struggling with his shot the last couple of games here, but those 2 shots might have been probably the most important shots of the game, given how the game was kind of going there. Can you just talk about him a little bit and how he's kind of worked through the struggles he's had the last couple of weeks to have a big moment like that?
Oh, he's huge for us. We have the utmost confidence in him. I want him shooting all them shots. Anytime he's open, we have the utmost confidence that he's going to make those shots. So, just at that point in the game, it was huge. Like you said, 2 of the biggest shots in the game got us right back in, got our energy up. So, we know he's going to play well, and, we know what we're going to get from him. So those are huge shots.
All righty, we'll go next to Patrick Murphy, 247.
Kyle, what was the best thing that you guys did tonight to get the win?
Just staying tough defensively, I think, was huge. Our post defense, like y'all mentioned, trying to limit catches in there. Nothing easy. But really, like I mentioned, I'm going to keep mentioning just staying poised through the full 40. And another thing I'm always mentioning is, being the tougher, more aggressive team. I think we came out tonight, we were able to set the rules early. It was a really up and down game. So, there was a lot of shots going up, but at the end of the day, it was, whoever could get more stops on the defensive end. So I think that was what we did well.
Did this feel like a NCAA tournament type of game? Because it looked like one watching on TV, but did it have that kind of feeling on the court?
Yeah, it's tough just because, like, being with no fans, you're going to get a whole different vibe with that. But, Iowa's such a great team, and, it was just fun to be out there and compete with them.
All righty, we'll go next to Brendan Gulick, Buckeyes Now on SI.
Hey, Kyle, I want to ask you about the stretch of time where you guys were down 61-50. It was fairly early in the second half, and for whatever reason, it kind of just a cold stretch offensively. I think you had missed 6 shots straight as a team, and for about 6 minutes there, didn't score from the floor. So you're down 11, and then all of a sudden you blink and you're up 63-62, and it just felt like something changed there. What did you feel during that stretch where things flipped?
Just our energy. I think there at one point there, I wouldn't say we started to slip off, but we noticed we weren't getting the shots we wanted. We weren't staying with it. We weren't playing tough enough on the defensive end. It took a couple big shots, like by Duane and a couple other defensive stops just to get our energy back. So I think it was just our energy level, our intensity. That we started to lack there a little bit, but, we got it right back, stuck with it, and, it helped towards the end of the game.
And Coach Holtmann told us yesterday that he thinks this Iowa team is probably the best offensive team he's ever coached against. I mean, that was awfully high praise. And at the beginning of the game, defensively, I think you guys struggled a little bit to get rebounds after some shots. But, boy, it felt like things really kind of shifted in the second half. I just want your take on like how good it feels to win a game when as a coaching staff, they're looking at this saying, hey, there's really never been a higher bar we've been up against here offensively.
It feels great. The coaches have done a good job, getting us ready for games like this. And, we always say it's just take it one day at a time, one game at a time. So obviously, we were focused on this game, and, Iowa, like you said, is, like Coach said, he thinks, they're the best offensive scoring team in the country. So, just winning a game like this is always good. Like I always say, a win's a win. So no matter what win you can get, it's going to feel good.
All right, Kyle, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
And we're going to bring in Duane Washington right now. All right, Duane, thank you very much for spending a little time. Congrats on a big win tonight. Let's start it out with Bruce Hooley from Press Pros.
Duane, there's a tendency to focus on big plays down the stretch that win you games, but as you guys found out here last year, you can lose it in the first half. You were down 19 after 10 minutes. I bring that up because I wondered if you could talk about how important it was for Michi and Zed to give you 12 points in the first half, for Zed to play that huge defensive possession at the end on Garza, just those two freshmen in their role tonight.
Yeah, my job this week was to let the guys know that this is the toughest game on our schedule this year. I really nailed it home to the guys that this is very important. We got to lock in on every aspect. Whether it was the freshmen, whether it's me, some of the veteran guys, just reminded us what happened to us last year here. And I think coming into it, we were very, very locked in, and they had some huge contributions. Michi's like my little brother. He made 2 big threes today. Huge shots, and I told him shoot him with confidence, and he went out there and made some big shots, and Zed did a great job on both ends today, attacking Garza down there in the post as well as guarding on defensive end, and we give him high praise for that, and the 2 young guys did a great job. Gene banked in a 3, bank was open, and all those contributions were huge today. So
You are never shy about that you'll continue shooting, even though they're not going in. But I don't know if seeing those 2 go in when they went in, how that felt, given how you've struggled here recently.
Yeah, I mean, my team, I love my team, man. I love them to death. Like, this journey has been so great, and I can't express it enough how much they mean to me and how much we've grown together and become a unit. And with that being said, they believe in me to the highest ability. Not only me, everybody knows that I'm a confident guy. I believe in myself at the highest ability, but to have 13, 14 players and the whole staff as well, keep telling me and keep being confident, keep doing what you're doing and keep working.
just trusting the process. If they're good shots, shoot them, stick them, and made some big ones today, to help us climb back in it and pulled out the dub today. So.
All right, we'll go next to Steve Hillwagon, 24/7.
Yeah, Duane, Ohio State basketball has been around a long time. I don't know, you guys team 121 or 122, whatever you are. I don't know, whatever the number is.
122, yes, sir.
122. This is the first time the school's ever had 4 road wins over top 15 teams in the same season. What is special about this team in this moment right now after you've pulled off the latest one? What is so special about this team that allows you guys to go on the road and beat some of the best teams in college basketball?
We are, we are who we are. I think that's the message that I can say to the public is, we're not going to stop being us. I think the best part about it is we just celebrated, and first thing Coach said is we got a big one on Monday. We strive for perfection here. We understand it's a long season, very, very tough teams on our schedule, and for us, we're all bought in. We're in a really good spot here, and we're going to keep this energy going. We're going to shock all the guys who thought we were going to be whatever we were in the Big Ten. We're going to just keep doing what we're doing. Every single day get better, and that's been our approach. And trusting the process has definitely been in our favor, and we're going to keep doing it the same way.
And for you personally, you're getting good looks and the ball just simply wasn't going in these last 3 games. Was Coach's message to you just stay with it, it's going to go, it's going to go? What were the coaches saying to you, and what was your mindset?
Like I said, I keep putting the work in. I've been in the gym, never satisfied. So, and especially not these past 3 games. We've come out with a W. That always helps, especially in personal performance. But at the end of the day, man, I want to win. So I'll go over whatever in the next however many games if we can come out with the W. So, but Coach is telling me, keep your head on your shoulders. This is my 3rd year here, man. So I've been through the slumps and the ups and downs, and I'm starting to figure it out that you just got to keep coming. You just got to keep going and keep working, and everything will pay off in due time. You just got to stay ready.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
All righty, we'll go next to Adam Jardy, Columbus Dispatch.
Duane, we know you guys are an elite offensive team. We knew they were an elite offensive team coming in. Was there a thought coming in that you were going to have to outscore them to win? I mean, I know you have to score more points than the other team, but did you come into this thinking you were going to have to outscore them? Yeah,
man. They have a lot of weapons. Coach was telling us just, we got to make them miss, got to make them uncomfortable. They're a very good 3-point shooting team. We tried to get them off the line as much as we could. We had some errors throughout the game, and, they missed some, they made some. But I think being down 11 in the second half, I felt that feeling I felt last year, something clicked in me that, okay, can't rush on the offensive end, got to stay solid, got to keep coming on the defensive end. Like you said, I heard you say we missed 6 shots in a row. And that kind of stuff, younger guys would have broke and put their heads down and kind of shut down. But I told the guys before the game, they're going to make tough shots. They're going to go on runs. They're going to have their own, hype, whatever. We just got to stay focused. We got to lock in, keep getting good looks, get a shot up on the rim every time, and compete really, really hard on defensive end, man. And our guys brought in to the highest level tonight, and our energy was great. We made some huge shots, and obviously we feel really confident in our offensive team and what we can do on the offensive end. So just coming back down and making them work on defensive end was important as well.
How strange was it today getting to the arena and leaving shoot around? I know you guys had some issues there at both ends.
Yeah, we felt kind of weird. We got stuck on the hill. We were in the gym. Shoot around, left, and then we got stuck on the hill right outside the arena for an hour where we couldn't get out. We had to call the plow people to come in and plow for us, and kind of reminded me somewhat of the deal we had at Northwestern my sophomore year last year. The fire alarm went off, and it was just kind of a wrench in the road that only was going to make us go even harder. You know, like, we had we talked about who the top 10 shooting guards were in the NBA, and it was a great conversation. And I just think that we built up that animosity for the game. Like, this is the one. We're going to go get this one today. So.
All righty, we'll go next to Bill Landis, The Athletic.
Hey, Duane. Sometimes when teams play as well as you're playing, it's because, one guy can get really hot and just sort of play above himself for a while and carry a team. That doesn't seem to be what's happening here. You just seem to have a lot of guys who are kind of doing what they do, and no one's really kind of like playing over their skis, I guess. Like, how much more confidence does that give you to know that you are playing this well? You're kind of surging in the conference, and you're not kind of doing anything that's out of character for anybody.
Yeah, this is something that we've been working on since day one. We all got together. One of the biggest questions about our team was our chemistry and our ability, to play well together. And I think that, everybody took that with a grain of salt. And, off the court, obviously there's not much we can do right now with COVID and stuff, but staying safe, staying around each other, just being in each other's company. I think, playing the game, watching movies together, watching film together. All that stuff is huge, and it's not seen. So obviously on the court, all that stuff is important too. But I think for us, man, we just love each other, and we understand what it takes to win. And we have a lot of veteran guys, a lot of younger guys with a lot of energy. And, it's super exciting when those things can come together and everybody's working towards a bigger goal, and everybody's bought in, and we're just having so much fun and loving each other to death. So.
All righty, we'll go next to Sean Dunnigan, WBNS.
Duane, you often hear defensive games as heavyweight fights in basketball. Was this game a heavyweight fight in your eyes with how this game was played?
Yeah, man. They did a pretty good job on the offensive and offensive rebounding early in the game. I saw them kind of take advantage of us, created a couple open threes for them early, a couple putbacks, a couple and ones. Yeah, man, there's some big dudes down there. So, our deal was be the more aggressive team, try to have good ball pressure, try to get them out of their stuff. They like to shoot threes a lot, man. So threes mean long rebounds. So boxing out, being aware that the ball can fly off any single way. So we practiced that during the week, and we just knew we had to be the more aggressive team tonight.
What do you think this win? Do you think this win sends a message to the rest of the country that you guys are for real, beating Iowa at Iowa, number 8 team in the country?
Yeah, we're going to take this how we're going to take it in the locker room. We're going to talk about what we talk about. We're going to move on. We're going to analyze the win, learn about the win, and forget about it. We're going to move on. We got a big one on Monday, like I said. But, the people around the country can take this however they want to take this. From day one, we haven't listened to what people have said about us, talked about us. We're really locked in right now. That's what I'm going to say. We're locked into the max right now.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
All right, we got Coach Holtmann coming, so we'll do our last question for Duane to Stephen Means, Cleveland.com.
Duane, how infectious was that shooting after you hit those 2 threes? Justin hadn't hit a shot, and then all of a sudden he hits 3. Kyle Young's hitting big-time threes as a center. How infectious were those, and how much of a momentum swing were those 2 threes you hit for the rest of the team, not necessarily for you?
Yeah, I had a good feeling. We were down 11, got some open looks, and was able to knock them down. And one of the things that I strive to create is a positive energy in the room, in the gym per se. So every time, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but every time somebody's open or Kyle's getting ready to shoot, I'm knock that down, Kyle, knock it down, Justin. And they hear me, and I know they hear me every time, and we make eye contact right after it goes in every single time. Like that kind of reassurance and building confidence, I think is huge. EJ, knock it down, EJ. Every time guys are in rhythm, getting ready to shoot the ball, they hear my voice, and I'm giving them confidence. I'm giving them good energy. I'm manifesting it's going to go in. And I think that it just, mentally it helps them stay comfortable. It helps them knock it down. And putting the ball on the money for the guys to make some tough shots is what CJ did a great job, 9 assists tonight. And like I said, we're going to take this one, we're going to solve and keep pushing and get ready for Monday.
All right, Duane, thank you very much. Congratulations. Have a safe trip home.
Thank you, guys.
All right, we got Coach Holtmann on the way. He'll be here in just a minute. All righty, Coach. Congratulations. We'll have you started out with an opening statement.
Okay. Hey, guys. Obviously, I'm sure that was a fun game to watch. It was a fun game to be a part of. Not as much when we were down 11, but we have an incredibly resilient bunch, as much as any group I've ever coached. So I give our players a lot of credit. I love, this Iowa team's tremendous. They are really, really good. And Fran does a great job. They're talented, very well coached, extremely hard to guard. We knew they were going to make some runs. We had to be able to weather some runs and find a way to score ourselves. I think if you can't score against them, you're not going to beat them. So our guys played with great poise, particularly when we were down. And I think probably for that, I'm most proud. But players win games. I thought we had guys, Kyle's threes late, Justin's threes late, and Duane's free throw late was important. But a lot of plays throughout the stretch of the game.
We'll start it out with Jared Smalley, WCMH.
Chris, congrats. A thought on the plan with Garza. Obviously, it wasn't like he was physically taken out of the game. He was allowed to play physically. But what went right in your plan to eliminate him as much as you possibly could?
They put him in such great spots and move him around. We mixed up our coverages, Jared, between trapping and what we call digging, ball side. We just had to he had to have a body on him because he's the most difficult matchup in the country. So I just think as much as any, I thought Zed's minutes were really critical. And then I thought Kyle's mobility against him and his fight was essential for us.
All righty, we'll go next to Patrick Murphy, 24/7.
Chris, if you can pinpoint one thing that you thought was the best thing you guys did to get the win tonight, what would it be?
Poise. Yeah, our poise when we got down 11. And I thought we defended really well the last from about the 10-minute mark of the second half. I thought our defense just got better. And I thought it helped that we weren't as in much foul trouble to start, to be able to go down the closing stretch and not put them on the line. So but I thought our defense down the stretch, listen, our team, as we've shown, they've got big time guts and they've got courage and they made big shots. So that'd probably be number 3, but I thought our resilience and our defense there in the last 8 minutes.
Has that poise grown throughout the season? I mean, could you guys have done this type of game earlier in the year?
No. I think you saw us the second game of the season. Wasn't real pretty for any of us, especially the head coach. No, we couldn't have done this. There's no way. We've gotten better and guys have gotten better individually and we've gotten better playing together. And, our defense, we got a lot to continue to improve on, but no, there's no way. No way.
All right, next up, we'll go to Adam Jardy, Columbus Dispatch.
Chris, Duane talked about being stuck on the bus today for about an hour and talking about like best shooting guards in the NBA. Kind of a rough travel day all around, but what was it like in having a situation like a bonding moment like that before a big game? Can you make something out of that? Can you get a vibe or a feeling out of that you can carry into a game?
Yeah, I don't know, Adam. They had a good time with it, and it wasn't quite an hour. It's probably Duane exaggerating a little bit, which he can be prone to do for those of us that know Duane. But yeah, Duane leads the charge there in the back of the bus with those kind of discussions. So they had a good time with it. We were caught in, at the bottom of the hill and a bit of a blizzard-like conditions. And the fine people here helped. They brought snow plows and shovels and, They did a great job taking care of us. It was probably about 45 minutes where we had to wait. But, I think, maybe, this group has a really special way, and I've said that from the beginning of the season, that they have a really special way about them. So perhaps in some ways that, galvanized us a little bit.
And CJ had 9 assists tonight, which I didn't even realize until Duane mentioned it. But it looks like he's maybe getting a little more comfortable, maybe shaking off the rust from having missed those games. What did you get from him, and how important was he in a night where you knew you needed to score a lot to beat these guys?
Yeah, you really do, Adam. You have to score the ball. I think Jay Billis mentioned that on the post game when you really do have to score the ball against these guys, or else you can't beat them, Adam. They're just too good offensively. So, as a coach, I'll take some blame for our defensive errors. But I think you got to score the ball. And then once we were able to put enough stops together, I thought that allowed us to make, get a little bit of once we could string some stops together, we thought we could score enough. But you got to score against one of the best offensive teams I've coached against. You got to be able to score the ball.
Next up, Bill Landis, The Athletic.
Hey, Chris, I know you guys did a good job kind of collectively against Luka, but in the moments when it was kind of Zed versus Luka, those were really kind of entertaining physical battles, I think, just to kind of get positioning. What's it like to see a freshman not really back down at all when he's going against the guy who might be the best player in the country?
Yeah, he battled. He really did battle, Bill. He's shown that all year. He's a big kid, right? He's 260, and he's strong, and he's naturally physical, and he has long arms. So I thought he was able to just disrupt enough of his shots, even when he had shots around the rim. I thought his length bothered him just enough. But I thought standing his ground a couple times. I thought the play where he got the loose ball. I mean, this had to be a fun game. I keep saying that. This had to be a fun game to watch. A lot of offense, guys battling, give them credit. I thought that was a kind of a fun game within the game there between, an elite player and a young kid who was fighting.
And I know in this league, you never sort of rest on your laurels because it's going to be tough night to night, but you guys are playing probably about as well as you've played since you've been here. And you're doing it seemingly without anybody kind of really playing above their head. You just sort of have everybody kind of doing what they do, it seems like. Does that make it any more encouraging to know that you are playing this well and you have guys doing things that look sort of sustainable for the rest of the year?
Yeah, it's I think it's a good observation. I think guys are playing to their strengths, and I think we have to keep doing that. You look at a guy like Michi Johnson today, he really stemmed the tide for us a little bit when we were on our heels a little bit there and at the end of the first half by just making a couple shots and then providing some defensive activity. Gene gave us good minutes. I think, we've seen that, right? We wouldn't have won a couple games without Seth Towns for sure in this last stretch. And we've had different bench guys step up, and it's been good to see. And I agree with you. I thought we had guys kind of do what they do. And, I'm not saying Kyle Young's going to turn in and make, 4 threes a game, but I think he's starting to show us what I think he's starting to show maybe everybody else what we've seen every day in practice and how clean his shooting looks. So it's good to see for that young man. It's great to see.
All righty, next up, Colin Hass-Hill, 11 Warriors.
Chris, those Justin Orange threes down near the end of the game and then the Duane threes, when you guys were down 11, were both sort of two moments when you went to two guys who didn't really have it going, but they really came through for you. What is it about those two guys or your coaching staff's confidence in them and those kind of moments where, even if they don't really have things going, you feel like you can trust them?
Yeah, Colin, I tell you, you're right. Justin struggled a little bit making shots early, right? I think he was feeling that a little bit, but he's such a confident kid. And he came in hunting. Give him credit. He came in hunting. He came in really confident. He came in hunting shots, and Ryan Peden put him in great positions a couple times with a couple of his calls from the bench. Fantastic positions with a couple of those threes. But give Justin credit, man. I thought he came in and gave us he was hunting, man. He just came in, and it was great to see. You know, for a minute there, I thought, do we roll with the combination we have and leave that group out there? I think at the end of the day, Colin, it was the fact that I do really believe in Justin. And then one of the things I think I've learned is when we play fatigued, when a couple of our guys play fatigued, Duane, EJ, it really does affect their play. So I've got to keep them fresh down the stretch.
And then, you know, you talked about the need to score blow for blow with them a little bit. What was the most impressive, the most important thing that you guys did offensively tonight that allowed you to put up 89?
I think just attack their changing defenses, move the ball, 20 assists, 6 turnovers is pretty clean. I think just move the ball. And then I tell you what, Colin, I thought Justice Sewing's couple of his offensive rebounds were critical for us, which was a point of emphasis. But I just think more than anything, we were in attack mode against some of their changing defense, which we did a poor job of last year.
Thanks.
All right, we'll go next to Clay Hall, WSYX.
Hey, Chris, your game certainly travels. What does it mean to the confidence of this team to log that many good wins on the Big Ten road?
You know, Clay, I've stopped using road and home because they're all neutral. I get you, though. I think the fact that you're playing in a different environment does probably provide, in some ways, maybe a very slight advantage. I just think consistency of effort and performance has to be the hallmark of a good team. If you have ebbs and flows and dips, whether you're playing, especially this year, at your facility or at another facility, that it really doesn't speak well of your team. So I think as much as anything, we've had consistency of performance, Clay, and that's been really good. And I feel really good about it, whether it's been neutral against a UCLA or these type of environments that are kind of semi-neutral.
Congrats. So what's your seed tonight, Coach?
Excuse me?
What is your seed tonight?
What do you mean seed?
Seed for the tournament.
Oh, what do I think our seed is?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right.
Clay, I have no idea. Clay, you know me by now, 3+ years here. I don't look at that stuff. Now, you could probably tell me, somebody on this call could probably tell me, but we have the hardest schedule that I've been a part of in this final 4-week stretch. So when you said seed, I you know, that like
yeah.
or something. I don't know. I really don't know. I think we've got a lot of basketball ahead of us. I love coaching this team, and I love us getting better. But we got a big challenge on Monday versus Maryland.
Thank you, sir.
Sure thing.
All righty, we'll go next to Stephen Means, Cleveland.com.
Hey, Chris. Duane, obviously, he's been struggling with his shot the last couple of weeks, but then he probably hits the 2 biggest shots of the night for you guys, those 2 back-to-back threes, and it seemed like everybody else decided they wanted to make threes after that.
Yeah.
Can you just talk about the energy he brings to this team and how infectious that is, and maybe how that was mirrored and how the second half played out?
Yeah, I thought he got on a string there, Stephen, where he played with a lot of confidence, similar to maybe the Rutgers game at home a few games back, where he got on a roll. You could tell he started to really feel it. And you're right, it did spread. It gave the rest of the group a lot of confidence. That's who Duane is. And as long as he's taking good ones, I want him hunting. And if he's competing at the other end and hunting good shots, I'm fine with that. But I loved his confidence there in that stretch.
Does that show up in other places in his game or just in his leadership style? Like, I know he leads the chant after the game. I mean, does that show up?
You know, I think he's a guy that he's charismatic. Duane's charismatic. People gravitate to him. So that's why he's got to make sure that he's about the right stuff. But he's incredibly charismatic as a person. So I'm sure it does. It is infectious. Before we go
All
into
right, we got time for just one last question.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
let me just, before we go into the last question, I do want to say one thing, if I could. We wore shirts today that say a racism, and it was in honor of John McClendon. John McClendon was a coach that is now, the school is now North Carolina Central University. And back in 1944, they played in kind of a secret game. And he was an African-American coach and really a trailblazer in a lot of ways. And his story is really a fantastic story and certainly a part of college basketball. He was an NAIA coach for a number of years. But I think as we go through this, and so our country's went through so many things, I have a young man, he's my age, so I guess we won't call him a young man. He's a little younger than me, on our staff, Terry Johnson, who I just believe in at a really high level. And I believe he deserves an opportunity. Terry has handled our defense from Butler through Ohio State. He's been a part of every team that we've had that's went to the NCAA tournament or advanced in the NCAA tournament. He's got an unbelievable relationship with guys. And part of the reason that I feel compelled to work so hard in this job is to help guys have opportunities. And I really believe that he deserves an opportunity. And, part of what we're doing with this particular game and John McClendon is bringing awareness to, I think, hopefully increased opportunities for African-American coaches in our profession. And particularly, I think Terry Johnson is very deserving of one. So I appreciate you allowing me to indulge for a minute on that point. I just believe that, he's not a self-promoter. And in this business sometimes, and probably maybe in your business too, if you're not a self-promoter, sometimes it gets you. But he is a guy who is an excellent basketball coach. And anybody who's played for Terry Johnson or coached with him feel the same way.
Awesome. We'll just do one last question. We'll go to Bruce Hooley. Bruce.
Chris, you've talked before about the need to score tonight, and it's a game Seth doesn't score. I'm intrigued by your feel for knowing the time you had Gene Brown in the game to take threes is not the time that most people would think you have Gene Brown in the game to take threes.
Yeah.
And you just have this kind of innate feel. Some games it's Musa, some games it's Seth, some games you got 20 points and about 10 boards and a bunch of assists off your bench tonight. Like, is this stuff calculated because of matchups before a game, or how much of this kind of stuff, and we've seen it with Gene against UCLA and other games with different guys, how much of this is you feeling it in the moment and playing a hunch?
Yeah, Bruce, that's a lot of it, Bruce. Now, I do think there are games where I go in with every game I go in with a certain rotation in mind. Now, this team is different, as you know, Bruce, because we do have guys that are kind of 9, 10, 11 that are somewhat similar in their impact. And so, I don't know that I always get it right. I think what I'm trying to do is reward guys who have worked in practice and deserve an opportunity, and as much as possible trying to keep everybody engaged. Again, Seth is a vital part of our team. And tonight, it just kind of wasn't his night in some ways. I thought their athleticism and their it just wasn't there. And I thought Kyle again was so effective with so it was hard to pull him out of the lineup. But it is a feel, and it's going in with a certain direction as to how we want to play, Bruce, and then adjusting based on what I'm seeing or our staff seeing in the midst of the game.
We sat here a couple of weeks ago after a Northwestern loss, and you talked about the need to shorten your rotation. Jimmy got hurt, CJ got hurt. It was a blessing to have a deep rotation. Now you're getting CJ back, and your rotation tonight, the depth of it probably really helped you. Have you seen enough in the interim between that Northwestern loss and now to be more comfortable with deep rotation going forward?
I think deep in the sense that deeper than maybe what we've played in the past, Bruce, but I don't think we can, play 11 guys, 10 plus minutes. I think there's going to have to be some guys, and that's a challenge. And our guys to this point have really embraced that. So if you're coming in, guys at the end of the rotation, you might only play 5 minutes. You might only play 2 minutes. You might play 7 minutes. But if you play those well, then the next game you're going to get potentially another look, or maybe the game after that I'm going to stay with you. But I think that I don't think it's a situation where it can be where we're playing 9 or 10 guys 10 plus minutes. So it will have to be trimmed a little bit as we move forward, Bruce.
All righty, Coach. Thank you very much for your time. Have a safe trip home, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks, guys.